Have you ever wondered why some people, earning the exact same salary as you, somehow end up with savings, security, and peace of mind, while others stay stuck no matter how hard they try? It is not luck. It is not a secret bank account. Most people stay poor on a low salary because they are waiting for more money to arrive before they begin building anything with it. In Japan, there is a quieter approach, one that does not wait for more, but builds steadily with what is already there. Today, I want to tell you the story of a woman who lived by this approach her entire life, and quietly became wealthy without anyone noticing the moment it happened. Her name was Yumiko. She worked as a seamstress in a small shop in Fukuoka, mending torn hems, repairing old kimonos, stitching buttons back onto strangers' coats for a modest fee. Her income barely changed for 40 years. Her tools were old, her hands calloused, her days repetitive. And yet, when Yumiko finally closed her shop for the last time, she owned her small building outright, had funded her granddaughter's education in full, and left behind savings that surprised even her own family. No one who watched her bend over that sewing table would have guessed. But Yumiko understood something most people miss entirely. She once said to her apprentice, "I never sewed a fortune in one stitch. I only refused to skip a single one." This is the quiet center of Kaizen, the philosophy of continuous, almost unnoticed improvement. Not one grand repair, but 1,000 small stitches, placed patiently, one after another, without stopping. Imagine a torn kimono brought to her shop, its fabric split in a dozen places. If Yumiko tried to fix it all at once, with one large careless motion, the repair would fail, and the fabric would tear worse than before. But stitch by stitch, slowly, patiently, the tear closes. Each single stitch means almost nothing on its own. But placed together, without rushing, they restore something whole. This is exactly how wealth is built. Not through one large financial decision, but through many small, careful stitches, made steadily over years, by people too patient to rush and too disciplined to quit. Here is why this way of thinking works, and why so many people struggle without ever seeing the true reason. Most of us believe financial change must come from one large event, a bonus, an inheritance, a lucky break. So we wait for that one large stitch to appear, and while we wait, small opportunities to save, to learn, to adjust, quietly pass us by, and used. The psychology behind Kaizen is simple, but easy to overlook. A large financial decision feels heavy, so the mind avoids it, delays it, fears making it wrong. But one small stitch, 1% saved, 1% improved, 1% corrected, feels light enough to actually do. And here is what most people miss. Because we actually do it, day after day, these small stitches compound quietly beneath the surface of our lives, until one day the torn place in our finances is simply gone, mended so slowly we barely noticed it happening. This is precisely where most people go wrong. They see someone like Yumiko living comfortably, and assume there must have been a lucky, hidden event they cannot see. They search for a shortcut, and when they do not find one, they give up on the small stitches entirely, believing them too slow to matter. But slow, repeated without stopping, is not a weakness. It is the only method strong enough to hold for an entire lifetime. So how can you apply this same quiet stitching to your own life, even on your own modest salary? Yumiko taught her apprentice 3 simple rules, and I want to share them with you now. The first rule is stitch before you spend. The moment money arrives, set aside a small percentage immediately, even 1%, before it is touched by anything else. Do not wait for a larger amount to feel worth saving. Every stitch matters, even the smallest one. The second rule is mend one small skill weekly. Choose one skill connected to your income, and improve it slightly each week, even by a small margin. Over months and years, This quiet repair becomes a skill so refined that better opportunities can no longer overlook you. The third rule is check the seams each night. Each evening, ask yourself gently, what is one small place today where I could have been 1% wiser with my money or my time? Do not judge the tear. Simply notice it and mend it tomorrow. Done consistently, this single habit repairs your relationship with money far more thoroughly than any sudden financial windfall ever could. Notice something important about all three rules. None of them require you to already have wealth. They require only patience, stitch after stitch, without stopping. This is precisely why Kaizen succeeds even on a low salary, while impatience unravels even a generous one. Years later, when someone asked Yumiko how she built so much from so little, she simply smiled and said, "The kimono was never repaired by hurrying. It was repaired one stitch at a time." Those who wait for one large financial moment often spend their whole lives with a tear left open, watching quieter people mend their own lives stitch by stitch, until the whole garment is whole again. But those who begin today, one small stitch at a time, slowly become the Yumikos of tomorrow. You do not need a larger salary to start. You do not need a lucky break, timing, or permission. You need only one small stitch, placed today, and again tomorrow, without stopping. So if this story reached something quiet in you, begin now. Choose your one stitch, your one small improvement, your one honest correction. And if you want more calm wisdom like this, the kind that mends a real and lasting life, stay with us. Subscribe to Will and Wisdom, share your thoughts in the comments below, and I will meet you again in the next story, where another quiet truth is waiting to be uncovered.